Okay, we have the car up on ramps, the wheels are chalked, and the emergency brake is engaged. Today we're going to be flushing the engine on a 2004 Suzuki Forenza. Afterwards, we'll perform a normal oil and filter change. The products we'll be using are Mobil 1 5W30 full synthetic, a FRAM filter, Lucas stabilizer. A lot of guys use Marvel Mystery Oil as their flushing agent, and it works good too. Or you could use plain old kerosene, which is what mechanics used to flush engines in the old days. The brand I'm using is Motor Medic. It's stronger and works faster than Marvel Mystery Oil, and yet is not as harsh on the engine as using straight kerosene or diesel. Put your oil cap back on and start up the engine. This is the easy part. Wait for a while as the solvent does its job. The solvent is designed to clean passageways. It removes gums and varnishes and sludge from internal engine parts. After 5 or 10 minutes, you can stop the engine and drain the oil. The oil hasn't been changed in a long time, which is why we're flushing it in the first place, and we're using long-life full synthetic oil. The owner changes the oil about once a year because she doesn't drive the car all that much, mainly just to the grocery store, pharmacy, places like that. Don't forget the gasket. To review, this is the drain plug we just removed. And this is the plug for the transmission, which occupies this side, the driver's side of the engine compartment. This is the oil pan for the engine. And up here, up above this link, you'll find the oil filter. It's above the right axle. If you were to remove the passenger side wheel, you could see the filter right here. First, I'm going to crack it loose with a pair of pliers. Then I can twist it off the rest of the way with my hands. Let it drain like this for about a minute before removing it the rest of the way. Make sure the old gasket came off with the filter and that it isn't stuck on the mating surface. Smear a touch of oil around the gasket of our new filter. This will make it bond better to the metal. Prime the filter with a few pumps of oil. Twist it into place, hand tight. Wipe off any oil that we left behind on the oil pan and the frame underneath the filter. That way we'll know if an oil leak does develop in the future, it's not from the work we did here today. I'm adding a quart of Lucas oil stabilizer before adding the motor oil. Even though this engine was rebuilt 3 years ago, it has a clicking lifter that needs attention. The owner's manual says we need 4.2 quarts of oil when replacing the filter. That's almost this entire jug if you're not using a quart of Lucas like I am. We've poured 3.5 quarts according to this vertical window on the jug. In addition to the 1 quart of Lucas, that equals 4.5 quarts of oil. That's a little over, but the oil pan on this vehicle is not the original one that came with the car. It's an aftermarket brand, and I think it's slightly larger than the OEM. Therefore, it's going to drink a little bit more oil. It won't do any good checking the dipstick when the car's up on ramps. We need level ground. Wipe off the dipstick first, reinsert, and check the level. It comes up to about halfway on the hatch marks. That's good enough for me on this rocky, uneven driveway. Okay, we're done with this job. Flushing the engine and using synthetic oil will help prevent sludge buildup, especially on cars like this one that are serviced only once a year.